Thank you, God, for this life. You already know. Most people will never experience real power. You know why? Because they don't even know what it looks like. Because they're asleep when it's being built. So that's right. If you're here with me at 4 a.m., you're already ahead. But let's be real. Just showing up, that's not enough. The war. The war started long before you got here. It started inside of you. And if you don't fight back, the system will make the choice for you. So now the test gets real. This is our war cry, our public declaration. Epoch 66, day 66, Raw 4 Live. This is it. The moment where hesitation dies. Because this war started long before today. It started inside of you. It started inside of me. The whispers, the doubt, the fear. This is where you answer back. This is where we separate. No more fence sitting, no more playing both sides. The war cry. The war cry is a choice, a decision, a line in the sand. You're either in or you're out. You either run the system or the system runs you. You either move or you get deleted. Hesitation. Hesitation is self erasure. Indecision is deletion. What does that mean? Well, I'm glad you asked. It means the moment you hesitate, you prove you're not ready for real power. The weak hesitate. The weak think. The weak pause and debate and wait for a better moment. You still waiting? But the ones who run the system, yeah, they move. They execute. They declare before the proof is there. Because by the time the world sees the proof, we've already built the future. This is what separates system creators from system maintainers. This is what separates those who consume from those who command. And it all starts with the war cry. So if you're in the chat and you're in the comments, we are all about the war cry. I want to give you personal perspective. If you haven't figured it out, this is massively important for me. For who I am, what I'm about, and what I represent. For the 4 rules of doing you: God, faith, honor, and loyalty. So this is why I'm doing this for us. for us, straight up. I could have kept this to myself simply by doing what I always did, what a lot of us do, which is just keeping to myself. I could have hoarded it, allowed my selfish instinct, my ego, to keep me elevated towards false mantles, someone else's system. I could have moved in silence and built on my own. I was good. I'm still good. I could have also done what a lot of us might instinctually do, which is to be faithless towards thinking faithfully that I could even do something like this. Because fear as a motivator is constantly pushing us in a direction of certainty around nothingness for ourselves and for our lives, everyday life, the simple man life. But God whispered to me. He called on me to be more for my wife, my kids, and for the world I was creating. That message was a realization, the subtleties of life, the ones we think we're in tune with, elude us. We go without and bring that within, not realizing that what we are within leaves us without. And so I sat with that. I wrestled with it. I questioned if I should even say anything. Like, am I going crazy? Still feels that way. But when God whispers, you can't ignore it. And what was once a whisper became a storm, a force I couldn't escape. So let me ask you, what has God whispered to you that you keep ignoring? What are you pretending not to hear? I'm an everyday man, my beautiful people, an everyday man who has built everyday things with an honest, straight up eye towards some self-worth. I've achieved success at its highest availability relative to my life and my space. Not because I was different, but because I was willing to see the truth. I desire as you desire. I see as you see. I am no better. I am no different. It took time. It took some searching, but I found that I love the stage. I do, unapologetically. Not necessarily for the applause, but what I believe and what I learned is we're all on stage every single day. The stage of creation and the camera is always rolling. In that way, God is not always watching. Rather, God is always seeing through you and through us. But I lost sight of that. I lost sight of why. I lost sight of moments. In fact, I was never truly exposed to what any of it meant. So I prayed, I meditated, and I found God first. But really and truthfully, he was always where he is, waiting for me, as he is waiting for you too. And it's natural. Every day I ask, why? 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 And every day that reinforces my everyday mentality. Unbeknownst to me, I was blinded by a version of success that was dictated to me. Not bad on the surface, not bad at all, but it wasn't my own. I was being programmed, and what's crazy is that I never knew it. Not because I couldn't know, but what I learned is my culture and society perpetuated it. Because generation after generation, we were germinated, infected, and cursed by it. And then I watched as we continued to propagate this mindset, one that isn't even ours to begin with, one that strips us of our authority to rule ourselves, filled with all these experts of themselves, telling us to be like them or else. Crazy. Weaponizing success to gain followers and corrupt lives for their own benefit. But I knew I couldn't judge. And it was then I understood. They too are just programmed, delivering what the code tells them to deliver, chasing the success they've been taught to covet, just like I was doing. I don't disagree with them in that way. I simply see it. And in that way, I think we all need to expose ourselves. We need to define ourselves for ourselves to succeed as we want to succeed. Doing you as you want to do you. From the janitor to the boardroom, my G. God, our root, whispers to us all. He leaves no one out. So I'm here to tell you to chase what is rightfully yours in the way you see it. And along the way, I promise you, I don't want no sympathy symphonies, no hand-me-downs and pity parties, no weak-willed sauce. I ain't here for it. And I also think it's about that time that we should keep shut and keep quiet. I don't think we should be silent. Not everyone is for sale. Not everyone is incapable. Fear is human. It can break us down. It hurts. It's real. But we shouldn't be targeted for that. We should be empowered. That's why I know what it's like to be on the other side, to have the potential, the vision, the fire, but no structure, no execution, no system, at least not one that is mine. And that's why I'm doing this. This is why I'm doing this for us. Because I refuse to watch another person sit on their own power and never tap in. If you're here, this message is for you. Not just to listen, not just to feel motivated, to act. I am Cliche Jeff because this is about remembrance. Remember who you could be because it's already who you are. I promise you. I don't know anything you don't already know. I haven't learned anything that wasn't already available to you. I am no better. I am no different. God speaks to us all and leaves nobody out. We are all creators. We are all, and all is us. The simple man is successful enough. That's my personal perspective. That's my really real. And let's transition into God stories and identify war mode in the Bible. Every major shift in history started with a declaration. Moses declared to the Pharaoh, "Let my people go." That's a war cry against oppression. David stepped to Goliath. Big battle. Said it. He said it before he did it. It was the war cry that set his fate. If you didn't know, King David was one of the most revered. Jesus declared, "It is finished." The final war cry before transformation. The war cry. It isn't just about shouting and trying to get attention. It's about speaking it into existence. The reality you are about to create. You are a creator. If you're too afraid to declare it, you're too afraid to build it. Let that hit. Let it sit. Let's check the chat. Who's in the chat? My chat signed out, my beautiful people. We're logging in. We're logging in. Let's go. Different when you're logging in live. Little bit of pressure. Little bit of pressure. It's 4:19 in the morning. Yes, it's me trying to sign in. Who's in the chat? Who's in the chat? Who's down for the war cry? I don't need to see it. I move in faith. I move in faith. My beautiful people. I hope you can feel where we're at. I hope you can feel where we're going. Nobody's going to be left out. We don't leave nobody out on the do you rules. We believe in doing you how you do you. And the last rule, the really last rule of doing you is, if this is your first time doing you, you got to do it your way. So we talked about God and the war cry and the significance of it. I think we have to reinforce some things that are non-negotiable, specific to God. Here's why this matters. God is the root system. I'll say it again. God is the root system. No root, no system, no God, no foundation. If the root is weak, everything collapses. It's not a matter of if. We don't got to debate that. It's a matter of when. You can build, you can execute, you can even win for a while. I'm sure we built something. But without the root, you're a ticking time bomb. That's right. Because a foundation that isn't God will eventually fall. It will eventually fail. So here's the really real, here's the truth. If your root is strong, everything is possible. Now, how you define God is your choice. We don't dictate the book. We don't dictate the path. We don't dictate the tradition. But make no mistake, unequivocally, undeniably, and unambiguously, if God isn't first, then something else is. And if something else is running your system, you're already off course. And don't get it twisted. When you set God as your foundation, the war begins. The moment you reclaim your power, the system fights back. A war has already been declared on your mind. The question is, are you fighting back? Because if you're not at war, you've already been conquered. That's why the 4 laws of doing you are non-negotiable. The first rule of doing you, God. God is the root system. The second rule of doing you is faith. Faith is the operating system. The third rule of doing you is honor. Honor is the security protocol. The fourth rule of doing you is loyalty. Loyalty is the firewall. But none of it means anything if you don't execute. No action equals no system. No system equals no power. My beautiful people, let me give you a strategy analogy to tie this in. Immerse yourself with me. The battlefield doesn't wait for you to be ready. The war is already happening. So imagine a soldier standing in the middle of a battlefield, gun in hand, but he's debating. Should I fire? Maybe I'll wait till I see the enemy up close. What if I miss? And by the time he decides, he's already dead. That is hesitation. That's self-erasure. That is what we're killing today. No mas. The ones who survive move first. They pull the trigger. They declare war before the first shot is fired. And that's what we're doing today. It is the do you rules war cry. You're already in a battle. It's time for you to fight back. So here's a little war cry challenge for you. Proof or excuse? Your choice on how you want to do you. So before you say these words, understand something. You understand? The moment these words leave your mouth, the system will test you. It will try to break you. It will see if you meant it. This isn't something you just say. This isn't some trend or hope core hype. This is something you become. Here's the test, the execution, the proof. Stop. Stop everything and look at yourself right now. Who are you loyal to? What system do you serve? What system do you run? Are you running your mind, running your body, running your time, running your life? Or is it running you? Are you operating on faith? Or are you still waiting for proof? If you can't declare it, you don't own it. Try this out. You want to get real, you want to get raw, you want to get busy, you want to hold yourself accountable and get on the do you rules, get on the movement, go to a mirror, look yourself in the eyes. Really do this. Man up, woman up. Say it like you mean it. Look in the mirror. I declare war on you. This makes you uncomfortable. Good. That means it's real. That means you need this. That means the system is breaking. Now say it with me. Say it with me. I am a system creator. I run it or I get run over. I move or I get deleted. I execute or I erase myself from power. Type it, say it, write it, journal it, lock it in. Because today is the day, the line, the choice. This is Epoch 66. This is the war cry. And from this point forward, there's no more turning back. Drop the war cry in the chat. Type it, speak it, live it. And if it makes it to you later in the comment section, just drop war cry. War cry. God, honor, faith, loyalty. We do you. You just declared war. Now prove it. Prove it. In the next 24 hours, you must execute on something that has been sitting in hesitation mode. A decision you've delayed. A move you've been debating. A step you fear taking. Now is the time. Give yourself permission. No overthinking. No asking for advice. No waiting for a perfect moment. Just do you. This is the system separation. This is proof. And drop it in the chat. Drop it in the comments. Don't be selfish like I want to be. What's your 24-hour execution move? What are you going to do? Say it. Own it. Move. You either run the system or the system runs you. Change your mind, change your life. I am who I say I am. Do you and stay rich.